Cheerio. Bonjour. Hello. I look dirty. I'm not. Doesn't seem like it. It's Tuesday. Tuesdays are the best day at the post office. So it's a nice early short day today. Okay, polygraph. So remember, we're at the point where she's given him the test and now she's left the room to grade it. While she was gone, he sat there and watched videos of the people he murdered. What the fuck? Is that not the creepiest thing ever? You know, the police put the pictures of the girls. They didn't put any pictures of Shannon, but they put pictures of Bella and Celeste in front of him on that table in the interrogation room the entire time. And they do that on purpose so that his brain will start, whoa, these are the people I love. These are the people I murdered, and it messes up his brain. But he's watching videos of them. In the Wisconsin interview, Tammy says to him, you were watching videos and that was creepy to me. And he says, yeah, I wished I would have watched them more before that. And because of that, I have gone back. I watch more of my videos now to give me nice memories. Not that I'll ever be in his situation, but okay, so she's come back and he has failed terribly. So for legal reasons, as they finish up the test, she's wrapping up her equipment, and she says, I'm going to bring Graham back in here to talk with you. Is that okay? And he says, yes. And she says it so nonchalantly that he doesn't even realize what he's agreeing to. But legally, she has to get his approval to bring Graham back into the room. So right away, Graham comes in. They both come in. He sits down. And Chris, there's Floyd. Floyd just came in the background. He might pop over here. I see him. Hey, Floyd. There's Floyd. Hey, Floyd. Floyd was named after my dead father, who I adore and still cry about. Okay. So right away, Chris says, excuse me about my ear. I had nothing to do with this. Well, Graham shuts those down right away. I assume that you guys watch Jim Can't Swim, JCS. Well, Floyd's right here now looking over the top of the lap. Can you put your little head here? He won't do it. Jim Can't Swim. And Jim has explained to us that the reason the police do that is because it actually ruins the bad guy's self-confidence. So that's the reason they shut those denials right down. I worked at the airport when I was in college. I was a ramp agent. I parked airplanes. I did all that. But I was actually a hostage negotiator when I worked at the airport. And I was trained for that. Men and women are completely different. So, look, I'm not trying to get all political, but the transgender thing is nuts. You guys know, I have a child born with a penis who wants to identify as a girl. And I play the whole game. And Ashley, if you're watching right now, I love you, but something's not right. Men and women are different. And the reason they train women negotiators are for certain situations, and the same reason they train men negotiators. But when the FBI and the CBI were picking who was going to go to Frederick to deal with this case, they specifically picked a woman for that reason. We all know Tammy is fucking brilliant. She's great. Well, they picked somebody who they knew he could appeal to. Tammy's doesn't hurt on the eyes to look at Tammy. She's a good-looking woman. Okay, well, that naturally appeals to everyone. You know, that's a scientific fact. But there's a reason that they do all that. Okay, so Chris is now saying, I want them to come back home. He's not quite at the point where his brain, he's thinking stuff and his mouth is not spitting the right things out. That happens in all kinds of interrogations, and the police do that on purpose. The hostage negotiators are trained certain things. I'll be honest, I really don't remember almost anything that I was trained. But I learned that, if we had a hijacked plane, I was one of the people that they would call and say, come and deal with this person. And again, because I'm a woman, there may be a situation where they specifically want a woman. Men and women are different. But I want them to come back home. I want them to come back home. And he says that 2 or 3 times. I believe at that moment, he genuinely does. He regrets what he did. I think a little bit of him is shocked he's gotten this far. But I also think a little part of him thinks he may make it all the way through. Because they're going to come and tell him. He knows that they're going to say, you lied on the lie detector. And he's going to say, oh, well, I had an affair. And that's why. Oh, and I was nervous, because he says that. And Graham says, that's not how the lie detector works. But I think he was planning on coming clean with the affair when they said, you failed the lie detector. You suck. Graham says, this should have been the happiest time in your marriage. What Graham forgot to say was, this should have been the happiest time in your marriage, except your wife was spinning you into oblivion. And we now realize that during these last 5 weeks, when you were checking the mail, you actually figured that out. I honestly believe that Chris had no idea. They were so far behind on the mortgage. And I know he had no idea about the homeowners thing. Because he bought her bullshit that they were sending it to the wrong address. You guys know, I work for the post office. We fucking forward. You know, I just recently, I had a forward that expired a year and a half prior. The letter came in. I saw, the Chris Watts family they moved to Saratoga Trail. And I walked it over to the route that the people had moved to. So that's bullshit. The debt. I just brought up, he got the 2 certified letters. I think the debt had a huge part of it. He says that the bankruptcy in 2015 was shock. He had no idea. He never thought that they would declare bankruptcy. He admits he did not tell his parents. So that had happened 3 years and 2 months prior. It was June of 2015. He didn't tell his parents about that. So he was embarrassed. And again, I think it all started, he was like, holy fuck, this bitch is doing this to us again. Her fingernails look great. Now at this point, she had not bitched at him about parking in the wrong parking area at the airport. But she bitched at him for that. $160 we can't spend at the beach. Okay, so you know that anytime that happened, she was like, $49 we can't spend at the beach. Because everything was Chris's fault. Nothing was Shannon's fault. She was the perfect wife and mother. And damn it, if you don't know that... Graham, at this point now, brings up that how good Chris looks. Now remember, the night before, Graham does say, I see pictures of you from years ago, and I see pictures of you now. Usually that happens when a man is cheating. Okay. My ex-husband, who I have no hate for, I pray for him, I wish him well. As soon as he and I split up, my goodness, he got on that treadmill, he started running, dropped 40 pounds. I didn't mind him chubby, but it's funny how men do that. I did happen to see him today because he brought me a picture that my buddy Red had given me. And he's gained that weight back. But I just, whatever reason that maybe. Okay, so now Graham has brought up how good Chris looks. So Graham is now using negotiator skills. My notes say hostage tactics because I remember some of that from what they were training me. You want to find some commonality that you have with the bad guy. And he's telling Chris, most men don't do all the cooking, and most men don't do all the backpacking or the backpack packing. What he forgets to say is most men don't also drug their children at 6:30 every night at the direction of their wife. Graham and Tammy have by far figured out now that Chris is on a leash with his wife and she pulls it in when he misbehaves and lets it go when he's good. But she had 5 weeks alone. She couldn't control him anymore. she was screwed. But, excuse me. I need to look up. Why does that happen? But Graham is almost bad-mouthing Shannon. You know, what a crappy wife she was. And I guess he's hoping that will be the statement that makes Chris go, oh my goodness, somebody else sees it. Yes. I fucking strangled her because I couldn't fucking take it. That's why I have a channel and why. Thank you all that you subscribe. Because I'm a realist. I'm just being realistic. Good God, this woman and her children absolutely did not deserve to die. But my goodness, we kind of see it. That's all it is. Graham's talking now that we all know that the Alexa is trained to record stress. Okay, well, from the camera angle we have, we can't see Chris. We see this. You can only see the top of Chris's head. But as Chris is just still looking at Graham while he says that, you can almost see the smoke start coming out of his ears. Chris thinking, I had no idea that the Alexa would record stuff. Okay, on a side note, that is true. Your Alexa senses when there's drama in the house and it starts recording it. Do any of you think I have an Alexa in my house? Good God, no. I won't even be on Facebook because they stalk you. I'm not going to have an Alexa in my house. George Orwell wrote a book, 1984. It all started with a vaccine. Interesting, eh? And they all had Alexas in their house. And that was a fictional book. Crazy, huh? You guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but I think it was 2014, some dude in Michigan murdered his wife. Or maybe the wife murdered him. Actually, I think the wife murdered him. The wife was a gambler, and she was taking all of their savings and gambling it. But so the husband's dead. She calls the police. Oh my goodness, I have no idea what happened. The fucking parrot ended up busting her. I don't know. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But the parrot kept saying, okay, let's say the dead guy was Gary. Gary says, don't shoot, Rhonda. Don't shoot, Rhonda. And the police started interrogating the parrot. And that's how Rhonda was busted for killing Gary. Who knows why? Oh, that was from the Alexa statement. Okay. So Chris has now admitted that, yes, he did want a third kid. But he also admits that after they conceived, I guess people ask questions. And Shannon said, it was Chris that wanted it. Chris wanted it. I did it for him. Remember, she has terrible health issues. And the fact that he would ask her to go through a third pregnancy, oh my goodness. And the fact that she's willing to do that, what a blessed soul she is. Goodness. My guess is she gaslit him. She wanted that third pregnancy. Remember, she's got Bella getting ready to go to kindergarten. Cece is, she's a year away from being 4. But very close to the point where they're both gone all day naturally. And Shannon has no more excuses. So now we got to get a new kid to put that kid in daycare. So she has more of a reason for everyone to be gone during the day. You guys know that Bella could have gone to public school for free beginning that week. But Shannon didn't want her to start in kindergarten over. Why? That would have done nothing but help her. You know, I've said this in the past. I was in the younger group. I turned 16 my junior year of high school, where most of my friends turned 16 at the end of our sophomore year in high school. I grew up in Fairfax County, Virginia, and as long as you turned 5 by November 1st, you got to go to kindergarten. Well, I turned 5 October 16th. So I was always the younger group. It would have done nothing but help Bella to hold back a year and start kindergarten. Plus, we all saw Bella. She's beautiful. She's very shy. Didn't have a lot of confidence. I believe that lack of confidence was instilled by her mother. Just more reason that she would need her mommy. Hey, totally off subject, but think about the times that there's a video where Shannon's cutting Bella's hair and Bella's crying, saying, I want long hair. What the fuck is wrong with you? Let your child have long hair. I've said this before. I used to take ponchos. We'd pull them all the way over and then flip them back. And we walked around like we had long hair. You know, we were Rapunzel. Goodness. There's probably people out there, my younger viewers, who don't know who Rapunzel is. Now Chris is back at the denial. No, he wasn't doing anything. He was loading things to his truck. And he names the 9 things. My computers, my water bottles, my water jugs. Water bottles and water jugs, because those are different. He did forget to mention that he put the gas can in there. Hey, somebody commented that they think that he did put the gas can in there to blow up the site. I don't think he did at all. I think deep down Chris is a narcissist, and all he really cared about was himself. I don't think killing himself even crossed his mind in the entire thing. And I've told you, I don't think he planned it for August 14th. I think that it was in the back of his mind, and he thought, if the moment comes, it comes. And it came when she said, you're never going to see the kids again. Tammy now brings up, okay, so there was a murder in Aurora, Colorado. It happened in 1984. Dude took a hammer and went in and... I've told you I can't talk about kid cases, but this case I can. Okay, this is one of those situations. He took the mom and the dad and he murdered them with a hammer. And it was a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. He also attempted to murder them with the hammer. But he sexually assaulted those little girls. And fuck him. I hope they hurt him in prison. But the 3-year-old survived. And now Tammy's talking about how that 3-year-old, her life has been hell. And she almost wishes she would have died. Well, Chris starts asking questions. He's like, really? Why? And it's back to when Tammy says, what should the penalty be for the person who did this? And he's like, I don't know. I guess it's going to be life in prison or the death penalty, I guess. And I've said to you, I really feel like he was almost admitting it at that point. So, okay, that's what I'm going to get. The way he's asking questions about this Aurora murder, same thing. He's curious. Well, why did it happen? Because maybe he's thinking, okay, well, maybe that's why I did it. Remember, we have not gotten to the point where Tammy says maybe Shannon did it. We're very, very close. He's already thinking. He's starting to think about asking his dog, talking to his dad. But now Tammy has brought up, did Shannon do something? And he's so stressed out he can't take it anymore. It's, oh, look at my muscle. Yeah. He's so frustrated it's going to come out his ears. So he's like, can I talk to my dad? He's hyperventilating very calmly, but he's hyperventilating. He knows he's busted. Okay. If you're still watching right now, I'm shocked. Please hit like, hit subscribe. God bless America.